Greetings, YouTube. The forces of ignorance are marshaling their strength once again upon the battlefield of the American education system, this time in Tennessee. It seems that their Tennessee legislature would really like to have a law passed that would undermine the teaching of both evolution and global climate change. Now, as I've said many times before, there is no real controversy when it comes to evolutionary theory. There are competing experts on the topic, of course, but the degrees that they're discussing are really minor. Actual researchers all support evolutionary theory. It's fact, folks. We may be filling details in for the next 1,000 years, but it doesn't mean that it isn't fact. And of course, they want to replace this teaching with creationism, or in its pseudo-scientific guise, intelligent design theory, both of which are not science. Now, if you choose to believe that evolution is just a theory and that creationism is science, have at it. Creationism can be a component of your religious belief. I'm fine with that. But it's not science, folks, and it has no place in a science classroom, nor does intelligent design theory. Because to be an actual functioning scientific theory, there are certain criteria you have to meet. You put forth a theory, you gather evidence, you run experiments, and then you publish this information in peer-reviewed publications, who then take your theory out and kick the tires and drive it around their block a few times and see if it works or not. And then the community does or does not accept your theory. And if they don't, well, you can go back and try again, or you can just give up. But if they do it repeatedly, then your theory probably isn't very good. But intelligent design theory hasn't ever followed any of these steps because there is no evidence to collect. There is no research to do for intelligent design theory, because at the heart of the intelligent design theory is one very simple piece of information. God did it, which you can't research and you can't gather evidence on. So that means intelligent design theory isn't intelligent nor a theory. I'll leave the design up to the people that believe in it. But this is apparently the 7th law that's been put forth this year in an attempt to undermine evolutionary theory taught in classrooms in American schools, which is just dumbfounding. And what was worse is this, in the article I'll be linking to, was that 13% of biology teachers endorsed the idea of teaching creationism in their science classes. If you endorse creationism, you aren't a biology teacher. You're a religious pundit. Congratulations. Go to a church, stand on a street corner, go find a nice park somewhere, and you can preach your gospel of creationism. But you're not a biology teacher if you're trying to put faith and religion into a secular science class. That nauseated me when I read it in the article. These people should be immediately fired. I don't care if they have tenure. They have completely and utterly failed to do their jobs as teachers. I know I'll hear people who tell me that, there isn't enough evidence for evolution. Well, I guess there is. This theory's been around for a long time, folks. And scientific theory is a phrase that makes people a little nervous because it got the word theory in there. But scientific theories are different than the colloquial term theory. For example, gravitation is a theory. All right? We don't have 100% knowledge of how it fully functions. I mean, Einstein did some wonderful work on it, and we've been testing it repeatedly since then, and we've come up with lots and lots of great research. But we still don't have it nailed, and it may be decades until we do. It may take a fully mature superstring theory to finally have a full grasp of all the ramifications of what gravity is. Maybe someday we'll have the theory of everything that will help us to understand the full depth of what gravity is. But that doesn't stop gravity from doing this. It still works. every day, every time, just like evolutionary theory. We may not have a perfect theory yet. It may take another 100 years to refine it even further. Who knows? But it works on the microscopic and the macroscopic scales. I know it makes some people uncomfortable, and I'm sorry for that. But it is the best explanation we have ever found for the diversity of life in the world around us. Plants, animals, us, everything. I wish it didn't make certain people uncomfortable. I wish that there were religious people out there that weren't trying to fight science in science classes, but they are. And we need to fight them back. We need to prevent them from undermining the education system that we have in America, in Tennessee, or at any place else. I hope you join me in that fight, because we really need to make sure that our children are taught science.